Hello, hi, and welcome back for some more good times with Narcissu. How you doing? Hope you are doing well. Last time we were together, we finished the first game, and oh, it was a lot. It was a lot, but it was just as good as I remember. I still have a lot of fondness for that story, and I absolutely understand why it was one of my main inspirations for ever wanting to write my own visual novel. So it's finally time to have a look at Side Second, which I've never played before. So we are going in completely blind. I don't know how smart of a decision that is. Boy, oh boy, who wants to cry in videos? We'll just edit it out in post. So we are going to be playing, of course, Narcissu Side Second, which is a prequel. And the only available translation for this one is Augulus. There is another translation floating around. I think it was by Hyon. And you can still find that translation online, and you can grab the original Japanese copy of Side Second, and you can apply that. That's a different, it's a different translation. When I read it, it felt way more stilted than the Augulus translation, so I didn't really like it as much. It just kind of, and I believe that translation wasn't fully combed over as much as the Augulus translation. So we are going to be going with the Augulus translation. This time around, we are going to go voiced. I did sample a bit of this just to kind of get levels and stuff, and I realized that this is a story with multiple characters this time around, but the way that it's presented doesn't change. So there's no graphics on screen to denote who's talking, and there are no nameplates. So I think that it would be a little harder to kind of like suss that out a little bit. I know that, you know, you're supposed to be able to suss that out. Like, it's easier to suss out in maybe in the original Japanese, but I find that scripts like that can sometimes be hard to keep track of who is talking. So we're gonna go with voiced, but I am still going to read the dialogue. So it's gonna be the same kind of, but now you'll hear the key voice because there's more characters in this story. So I think it just makes sense to approach this that way. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get things started. Setsumi. Oh, this is good. Okay, we know who Setsumi is. In front of the outpatient reception desk on the first floor. Spread on the floor, many colors of plastic tape. Red, blue, green. They led the way to various departments. It's like the opening of Half-Life, because I only know how to relate everything to video games. Tell you, I definitely got the most culture. Out of those, I followed the white tape. Walking about 30 meters on the right, the shop comes into sight. Across from that was the smoking room. On the left was the waiting room for surgical examination, and if you continue to the end, there's a small elevator. I get on that and press the button for the highest floor. Oh, we're going right back home. Oh boy, here we go. All right, I'm already stealing myself. The 7th floor. Before my eyes was the nurses' station. All together, some nurses look this way. But once they recognize me, their eyes turn back as if they saw nothing. They return to their work. So I'm not sure like what our timeline is here. I'm not sure where we're at with regards to Setsumi's hospitalization. I don't know if this is like her first, like she's just kind of stumbling around the hospital like looking for stuff, or they don't seem to mind that she's here. So like I don't know if she's already a resident or not. A high ceiling, windows that only open 15 centimeters. Here, it is a white, well-lit, sterile place. And I head towards the lounge at the end of the hall on the left. A large television, a long couch. Decorating the windowsills were a number of flowers. Fitting the summer, the many sunflowers in vases and the gerbera daisies in flower pots were blooming colorfully. Those were all familiar things. Okay, she's, I guess, familiar with this place.
何年ぶりだろう。ここに来たのは。
How many years has it been since I've come here? What's different from then are my clothes, changing from sailor uniforms to pajamas. Besides that, the bracelet on my hand, from blue to white, was just about the only other change. Okay, so is this like her first time here? Or it sounds like it anyway. She's familiar with it. Oh, you. Turning back towards the voice that called, it was a middle-aged lady I don't know. Her pajamas and bracelet colors say that she is a resident of this place. Are you visiting someone? Or a patient from another floor?
違う。
That's not it. While shaking my head, I show my own bracelet. Ah, I see, the lady replied uncomfortably. I felt the nuance behind those words. And so young. What a shame. Of course, I've had similar experiences so often, it was tiring. I haven't lived almost 10 years like this for nothing. Okay, so we're pretty deep into her sickness. It was just, I never thought to have a fellow resident of the 7th floor also turn eyes of pity towards me. By the way, what time are you on?
何のこと？
What? For here, coming to the 7th floor. For an instant, I had no idea what she was asking, but before I could ask a new question, it looks like this is your first. Okay, so this is her first stay on the 7th floor. With that, she just up and acted like she was like she understood the situation. Well then, teach you too. So listen well, okay? First, in this place called the 7th floor, even though I hadn't replied, the lady just continued speaking. There is no 4th time. The 3rd time you're admitted is the last. So prepare yourself. When you want to run away, head not to Station A, but to Station B. Don't eat anything. It places the least burden upon your family. She spoke about such things, and I was made to hear other things that would give one pause. Most likely, it was something only the residents of the 7th floor, only those who were headed towards death, continued passing on. So, you understand? That's shorthand for yeah. Once the lady finished her broad explanation, somehow I thought her complexion looked better. Whew, tell someone young like you. It's upsetting. But this is also a rule, so don't get angry, okay? With that, the lady left the lounge. Her parting words were, you tell new people too, okay? Burning sunlight and the sound of cicadas. A summer sky is seen from windows that can't open more than 15 centimeters. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. Many years since I've come to the 7th floor. The first that I've come as a resident of this place. So you've been here a lot over the last... Huh. And the rules I had been taught. In practice, they were probably passed down only among those who resided here.
でも、そのいくつかを
But a number of
私は
them
すでに知ってい
I had
た。
already known. Maybe it was since that day. The fact that I would face a day like today.
予感していたのかも。
I might have had a premonition of it. Oh, we're going in! So we're getting Setsumi origin story?
響き渡る鐘の音。
Himeko. Prologue Himeko. The rolling sound of bells.
物心つく前から、私はこの音と共にあった。
Since before I can remember, I existed with that sound.
お姉ちゃん!
That's sister. Oh, they got little translator's notes down there. I don't think they did that in the first one. But yeah, you can see that now. It is a form of address. Yep, it's big sister.
何よ千尋、そんなに息切らせて。
What's going on, Chihiro? Getting out of breath like that.
だってほら、そろそろ急がないと。
Well, look, if we don't hurry...
でもまたそんな格好して。
Wait, you're dressed like that again?
どうかし
Eh?
た？
What's wrong with it?
もうドロドロで真っ黒じゃ
Oh,
ない
you're all
の。
greasy and black.
別にいいでしょ。作業服なんだから汚れて当然じ
What's
ゃ
wrong
ない。
with that? They're work overalls. Of course they'd be dirty.
昨日洗濯したところな
Oh,
の。
I just washed those yesterday.
はいはい、悪かったわね。
Yeah, sorry about that. My little sister gave the usual grease stains a sulking look as she complained. It was the scene of a casual, everyday exchange before the door on a Sunday.
それよりもミサ、急がないと遅れちゃうよ。
Ah, never mind that mess. If we don't hurry, we'll be late.
あら、もうそんな時
Oh,
間なのね。
that time already?
さあさあ、早く着替えて教会行きましょうね。
Come on, hurry and change and let's go to church.
やっぱりパス。
Yeah, I'm done. Nah, I'm okay. You go ahead and you enjoy all that yourself.
また？
Again?
ダメだよ。お姉ちゃんって普段から言ってないんだから。
That's no good. You already haven't been going regularly. Jesus is not gonna like this.
せめて日曜日だけは行か
At
ないと。
least you should go on Sundays.
バカね、千尋。
Silly Chihiro.
せっかくの日曜日だからこそサボるのよ。
It's exactly because it's a precious Sunday that you skip out.
もうまたそんなへりくつ
Oh,
言って。
again with that weak argument.
まあまあ。神様だって多めに見てくれるわよ。
Now, even
こんな
God
天
would
気のい
overlook
い日
it.
はさ。
On a day with such beautiful weather?
天気関係ないわよ。
Weather's got nothing to do with it. I'm with her! I'm with whoever's speaking right now. Like, as somebody who had been forced to go to church a number of times before my parents finally just relented him and like, oh, wait, no, Polly's just not into this at all, huh? Yeah, like it was especially bad in the summer when you would get up, it would be nice as hell outside, and they're like, all right, we're gonna go drag you to listen to sad sermons and songs for the next 4 hours.
"それにどうせ今日も車いじりしてるだけのくせ
And
に。
either way, you're just gonna toy with your car today.
それじゃお母さんたちにもよろしくね。
Okay, give my regards to mom and the others.
こら、お姉ちゃん
Hey!
だ。
Himiko 02, best friend. What a sound. That sounded like a garage door opening. In the garage next to the house, I strongly raised the shutters.
さて、今日も始めましょう。
Shall we get started today? Perhaps because it was closed off, the garage was stiflingly hot. Immediately, I turned toward my beloved car under maintenance, purchased just a month earlier. It sounded good to call it a restoration, but really, it was just work to simply get the damn thing running properly. First, instead of calling the chassis retro, the word scrap fit better. Such was the age and condition of the car. However, thanks to that, I've lately been spending the weekends inside this garage.
姫子、いる？
Himiko, you around?
こっちこ
Over
っち。
here!
どうしたの？こんな場所まで。
What's up? Coming all the way over here.
近くまで来たからついでに寄ったんだけどさ。
Yeah, well, I happen to be in the area, so I stopped along the way.
で、何あなた、真っ黒じゃないの。
What's with you? You're all black!
昨日からオイルパンの交換やってたから。
Ah, because since yesterday I was changing the oil pan.
オイルパン？
Oil pan?
え、
Yeah,
これがま
it was
た
a
大変だ
rather
ったの
big
よ。
mess.
っていうか、素人でここまでできる人は少ないわね。
Then again, there aren't that many amateurs who can get this far.
いや、パンだかご飯だか知らないけどさ。
I don't know anything about... That's actually a good joke! Oil pan! And she thinks he's talking about bread, which is pan in Japanese, and they've got, yeah, pan is Japanese for bread, so... She thought she was talking about oil pan, oil bread. That's good. I don't know anything about bread or supper or whatever.
ほら見て、この自作ハンガー
Look
なんて
here,
大
this
したもんで
homemade
しょ。
hoist. Isn't it great?
でもやっぱウィンチがないから苦労した
Yeah,
わ。
but figures, without a winch, it's really hard.
あのさ、姫子。
You know, Himiko,
車好きもいいけど
it's
さ、
fine to love cars and all,
年頃の娘が真っ黒になってガレージに入り浸ってるってどうよ。
but a young girl to get all black and be in a garage regularly? What do you think about that?
あ、もしかして変
You think that's strange?
もしかしなくても変。
I don't have to think. It's strange.
まあいいじゃ
Well,
ない。
I mean, that's fine, isn't it? Who the hell do I have to impress?
私はね、ゆかみたいなひらひらの服よりこっちの方が好きなのよ。
You know, for me, instead of frilly clothes like yours, Yuka, I like what I have here. Okay, so Yuka. So we got Yuka, Himiko, and Chihiro is the sister.
はいはい。あんたは昔っからそうよね。
Yeah, you've been like this for ages. That's true. She replied in a weary voice. Her name was Yuka. She also lived nearby, and from long ago, we've often spent time together. However, our interests and personalities were polar opposites. And yet, we got along for some reason. It might have been exactly because our interests and personalities were different that we got along.
もし親友と呼ばれる存在がある
And
な
if
ら
there's someone that could be called a best friend,
私にとっては彼女が
for me,
それだった。
she would have been it. The way that's kind of narrated makes it sound like we're kind of bouncing between her narrating a story to someone and her talking out loud. Because I don't know why she would say that line out loud. So I think she's narrating this story to someone.
でもさ、姫子も物好きよね。
But still, Himiko, you're quite the eccentric, aren't you?
せっかくの初任給をこんなボロ車に使
Using
う
your
なんて
first
さ。
paycheck on such a beat up car?
ほら、ボロ車じゃなくてユーノスって
Hey,
言
it's
って
not a beat
よ。
up car. Call it Eunos.
それにこの方って古くても結構人気あるのよ。
And even though it's old, this model's quite popular, you know?
へえ、そうなの？
Really?
おかげで今から冬のボーナスまでローン地獄よ。
And because of this, all the way until winter bonus time, it's lone hell.
まあまあ、それよりも早く直してドライ
Well,
ブでも連れ
won't
て
you
って
hurry
よ。
up and fix it so you can take me for a drive?
おそらく来週には走れると思うわ。
Heck yeah, I think by next week I can have this thing running.
はい、決まり。じゃあ早速来週でも。
Great, it's decided then. Even next week.
ってそうだ。あな
Wait,
た日曜日は無
Sundays
理だっ
don't
たわ
work for
ね。
you, right?
ああ、別にいいわよ。
That's no real problem. I'm not so big on this God preachy thing, so we can probably make this work.
でも教会あるでしょ。
But don't you have church?
大丈夫よ。もう最近は全然行ってない
That's
し。
fine. I haven't been going lately anyways.
所詮私はエセカトリックよ。
From the start, I was a fake Catholic anyway.
こらこら、そんなこと言っていいの？
Is it okay to say that? Yeah, it's probably fine.
ええ、偶然家が教会の隣だったってだ
Yeah, it
け
was
で
just a coincidence that my house was next to a church after all.
ただいま。
I'm home.
おかえり。遅かったわね、千尋。
Welcome home. You've been out quite late, Chihiro.
元
You
気
seem
ないみ
a
たい
bit
だけど。
down.
もしかして7階帰り？
Did you come back from the 7th floor? Oh, so Chihiro got business on the 7th floor? She like knows somebody there?
担当の人が3回目だ
Does she work there? Huh. It was the 3rd time for someone I was in charge of.
そっか。じゃあいろいろと大変だ
I
ね。
see. Then it must have been hard in many ways. The 7th floor, that is the hospital's hospice. Hospice, generally known as palliative care, generally known as the palliative care ward. Essentially, not a typical ward. but one for patients on their final treatment options, a ward with mental care as a primary focus. For us as Catholics, volunteering as helpers had been very natural. Every day after college, my sister would head straight to the hospital. In her, I could see myself up to a few years ago.
はい。コーヒー入れてあげたわよ。
Here, I made you some coffee.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
ねえ、お姉ちゃんはもうしないの？
Say, you're not gonna do it anymore?
しないのって、ヘルパー？
It? You mean be a helper?
うん。今はどの病院も人手が足らなくて大変なんだよ。
Right now, hospitals everywhere are short-handed and it's been difficult for them.
そう。
I see.
でも、私はもういい
But
わ。
I'm done with it.
あなたと違って、私は大学の単位が欲しくて行
Unlike
ってた
you,
だけ
I
だ
only
し。
went because I wanted university credits.
もう、またそんなこと言って。
Saying that again.
別に
God's
嘘じゃない。
not gonna like that. God's gonna look down on that. Maybe a bit too. It's not like it's a lie.
それよりさ、
Anyways,
私は千尋の
I'm
方が
more
心
worried
配
about
よ。
you.
私が？
Me?
あなた
Yeah.
みたいな子に
About how it's
務ま
not
る
a
場所じゃ
place
ないって。
suitable for someone like you. My sister fell silent at those words. However, those were also my true feelings. In a way, I knew from my own experiences how useless superficial resolve was. At the least, for a kind, good girl like Chihiro, I knew that it would be painful to be a hospice. God, man. I can't imagine the weight somebody like that has to carry, like to be to care for people in that kind of situation, and that's got to just be an immense struggle. I think it takes a certain kind of person to do that. That is not a resolve I would ever have.
で、どうなの？今の様子。
So how was it? What's it like now?
初めての7階だからまだ慣れてなくて。
It was the first time that I'd been to the 7th floor, so I'm still not used to it.
それに今の担当の人って3回目だから。
And the person I'm in charge of is on their 3rd time, after
も
all.
う長くないみたい。
It doesn't seem that far off.
そうね。どんなに入退院を繰り返したとしても
Indeed,
4回目はない
no
は
matter
ず。
how many times they're discharged and then return, there shouldn't be a 4th time. That wasn't something that the hospital publicly said. But even without saying, if you were involved with the place, you'd learn it whether you liked it or not.
ねえ、お姉ちゃん、神様は一体何をやっているんだろう。
God, what exactly is he doing, I wonder? It's always a question. I mean, that's the question, right? That's like always the question. Like, I don't know. Again, we're into some deep stuff now. But I guess that's the kind of stuff that's gonna come up when you're playing a game about terminal illness.
さあ、忙しいんでしょうね。
Who knows? He's probably busy. Oof. Himiko 04 Roadster. A few days later, with the main repairs on the Eunos finished, we went out for a drive.
さすがにいい走り
Yeah, let's go! This car is driving itself! There is nobody here! This is the most haunted thing I've ever seen. It really does run great.
ちょっと姫子
Hey, Himiko,
そんなに
don't
スピー
go
ド
so
出さないで
fast.
よ。全然安
This
全
is
運
totally
転
safe
じゃない
driving. Check out this sick drift.
あなたはそうかもしれないけどペーパーの私にはドキドキも
That
な
may
の
be
よ
true
そ
for
の運
you,
転
but for
は
driver just on paper like me, this driving makes my heart jump.
ロードスター最
Roadsters are the best. Let's go.
高で聞きなさいよ人の
Hey,
話を
listen to people when they're talking.
それとさ何よこの
Hey,
車
what's with this car?
どうしたの
What do you mean?
なんで屋根がないのよ
Why isn't there a roof?
いやだって
Well, that's
そう
just
いう
how
も
it
んなん
is.
だもん。じゃないわよ。風で髪がくしゃくしゃになっちゃったで
Not
しょ。
how it. No, not how it is. The wind messes up your hair, doesn't it?
おバカさんね。オープンの醍醐味がわからないの。
I like her affecting a deeper voice here. It's like, silly girl, to not understand the joys of an open top.
そんな醍醐味、年頃の女の子に不要よ。
Such joys a young girl does not need.
せっかく1時間もか
Oh, and
け
I
ておしゃ
spent
れ
an
にセット
hour
したの
making
に
it up too. The sun was still high, and the Eunos ran under the refreshing cool of a sky before the rainy season. Soon after leaving a long mountain road, the deep blue sea spread wide. The sea route continued endlessly. From nearby came the crashing of waves and seagull calls. Even the phoenix palms planted by the beach houses, each and every one was tall. It felt like visiting southern lands.
じゃあちょっと休憩しようか。
Why don't we take a little break? Sure.
はい、缶コーヒー。
Here, canned coffee.
ありがとう。
You'll be big gulping. As if she had just gotten out of the bath, Yuka had her hand on her hip and gulped down the canned coffee in one go. She was always decked out in frills, but what shows through occasionally was Yuka's true personality. And then, while holding our cans of coffee, we walked out to the beach before us.
ここは綺麗なところだね。
Yeah, I get the feeling the author really likes beaches and like kind of the openness that they represent, along with the ocean, kind of again a vast, wide, infinite possibility. I'm wondering if that's going to play a similar role that it did in the first game here.
潮風も気持ちいいし。
Yeah, the salt air feels good. There's no one around.
姫子、よく知ってたわね、こんな場所。
Himiko, it's amazing that you know of this place.
ああ、まあ。
Wait,
どこか知らないけど。
though I have no clue where this is.
はい？
Excuse me?
いや、言葉の通りなんだ
No,
け
I mean, it's exactly what I said.
ど。ちょっと待ちなさい。
Chonto a minute.
どうして運転してたあなたが知らないのよ。
Why isn't you, the one who was driving, have no clue?
あ、実は適当に走ってたら偶然たどり着いただけだったりして。
Let's just say that I was driving around wherever felt right, and we came here by chance.
それって
Wait,
もしかして
do
さ、
you mean
今まで気の向くままに走ってただけ？
all this time you've been driving just wherever whim took you?
そんな感じか
You
な。
know, something like that.
信
I
じられない。
don't believe this.
つかちゃんと家まで帰れるかも心配だけど、こんなドライブに一日付き合わされた私も信じられ
And
ない。
I'm worried about whether we'll be able to get back, but the fact that I went along with this driving for a whole day, I don't believe myself.
まあまあ、
Ah, come
なんとかなる
on.
から。
We'll manage. How bad could it be? I've done that a few times, just kind of like, you know, you get in the mood and then you just go driving, because it's just like, I don't know what else to do right now. I'm just gonna point this car in a direction and go. We are going to take turns. We are going to get on expressways, and we will get back. I mean, thankfully, it's easier to get back. It's easier to do that these days because you've got, most cars have GPS or some form of it, or you've got a phone with GPS, which is what I use. And it's not too hard to like find out where you're at and then get back, but yeah, this may have been a little more scary, which we still have no idea when this is taking place. Like, I have to think that it's not 2004 or 2005, so it's got to be, I think, the 90s. And then we spread out some newspaper on the beach and started to eat the lunch we bought at a convenience store along the way. To be honest, bringing our own lunches would have fit better, but both of our best dishes, hard-boiled eggs, couldn't be called extravagant. Yo, we know how to make one thing. I boil the hell out of an egg. At the least, we should have brought a sheep.
でもさ、姫子。
But you know, Himiko.
何？
Yo, what up?
ナビがないなら、せめて地図くらい
You
持ち
don't
な
have
さい
a
よね。
navigation system, at least get yourself a map.
でもな、この気ままな感
But
じ
you
も好きなのよ
know,
ね。
I like this carefree feel too.
じゃあ、せめてその格好はやめなさいよ。
Well, then at least stop with that look.
なんでよ。
But why? I like work
作業服好きなのに。
overalls. I'm gonna be a member of Slipknot someday. I gotta get real used to wearing these.
ダメ。隣の私もなんか恥ずかしいから。
No, because sitting next to you makes me feel embarrassed. You can't be my girlfriend and go around looking like a mechanic. Which, I don't know. I think mechanics are cute. I think you can look absolutely adorable in overalls. Can make that work.
機能的なのにな。
It's functional, you know?
機能よりも美しさを優
Instead
先
of
して。
function, put form first. While we chatted, the two of us continued to eat our lunches. Pines swayed in the salt breeze, and the large phoenix palms stood still. Occasionally, seagulls came near, though it was such an utterly perfect place. How should I say? The image of the newspaper mats, Yuka's frilly clothing, my work overalls, it was all so out of place, it was laughable.
ねえ、また来週来よ
Hey,
うか。
let's come here again next week.
いやよ。
No!
わ、即答された。
Damn. Instantly rejected.
だってさ、何が悲しくて、毎週女二人でドライブばっかなの
Well,
よ。
isn't it sad that each and every week it's only two girls going out together for drives? What are people gonna think?
だってこれ二人乗りなんだも
Well,
ん。
this is a car for two people after all.
そういう問題じゃないでしょ。
That's not the problem, is it?
まあまあ、寂しいもん同士ってことで。
Now, let's just say we're partners in loneliness. That's what I say when I'm gay with people too. It
悔しいけど、
hurts to
反
admit
論で
this,
きないわ。
but I have no counter for that. Around when the sun had been so high, was hazing over, and everything that could be seen was dyed orange. Once again, the Eunos drove on. We had played at the beach, and now took up a quick route home. Today had been a fun day. While thinking that, I gripped the wheel.
でもさ、最近あなたって全然行ってないでしょ。
But
教
lately you
会。
haven't been going, right? Church? Eh?
千尋ちゃんもぼやいてたわよ。
Chihiro-chan was grumbling about it, you know.
最近お姉ちゃんは全然来てくれないって。
Lately, she just won't come, she said.
ねえ、たまには顔出したら？
Hey, once in a while, why don't you show your face there?
大丈夫よ。
It's fine.
それに以前も言ったでしょ。
And didn't I say before
所詮私はエセカトリックだって。
that from the start I was a fake Catholic?
だから
That's why
大丈夫なのよ。
it's fine.
姫子？
Himiko?
さて、そんなわけで来週もドライブ決定
So
ね。
it's decided. Next week, we're going for a drive again, right?
ああ、今度はお弁当も持ってこよう
And this
か。
time, let's actually bring some good lunches this time. We'll cook up some of those awesome hard-boiled eggs we know how to make. I got nothing against a hard-boiled egg. You can do a lot with a hard-boiled egg. Make you some deviled eggs.
そんで、今日よりも遠くを目指してみましょうよ。
And let's shoot for going further than today.
はいはい、わかったわよ。しょうがないから付き合ってあげる。
Fine, I get it. There's just no helping you, so I'll come along.
ありがとう。さすが親友ね。
Thank you! Just like a best friend! Himiko 05, hospital! Oh, I don't like where that's going. I don't like the sound of that at all.
それから1週間後
And 1 week later, we'll save the game. Nah, we'll continue a little more. We'll go a little more. And 1 week later,
教会には日曜学校へと向かう人があふれ
the church was filling with people headed to Sunday school.
先週の予定ではロードスターで海へと向かっているはずだった子
It was around the time set last week when the roadster was supposed to head towards the sea.
私の姿は病院のベッドの上にあっ
My figure was found atop a hospital bed.
たはいお姉ちゃんリンゴ剥いたよ
Here, the apple's peeled.
ありがとうあんたも食べなさいよ
Thanks.
好きでしょ
You eat too. You like them, don't you? Sure.
重かった
It's so heavy.
姫子ほら買ってきてあげたわよ
Himiko, look. I bought them for you.
悪かったわね下の売店じゃ売ってなかったの
Sorry,
よ
but the shop downstairs didn't sell those magazines. You know, the ones.
別に構わないけどさ次からはもうちょっと薄い
I
方に
don't
して
really
くれる
mind, but next time, could you make them lighter books?
それとあんまりマニアックな本はやめてよねレジ持っていくの恥ずい
Stop
か
with
ら
the books for obsessed maniacs, okay? Taking them to the register was embarrassing.
別にモーターサイクリストやアメ車マガジンは
I
普
think
通の本だと思う
motorcyclist
け
and
ど
American car magazines are pretty perfectly normal magazines.
私にとっては違
Well,
う
to
の
me, they're not. You ever have somebody be weird about buying shit like that? Like, dude, come on. Like, I had somebody, like, I remember sending somebody to run and pick up a game magazine once, and they got really weird about it. Like, I don't play video games. It's like, who cares, dude? Just go grab the damn magazine. Nobody's going to look at you weird. It's fine. But then you had my dad, who was super cool, and he would go pick up all sorts of weird things for me once. He picked up, I remember having him go in and purchase Ray Ray Missionary of Love, which is a really old hentai, when I was like 16 or something. Any album that had parental advisory on it, I remember him, having to be the one to pay for my copy of Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. Back in the day, I remember sending him to pick up a couple Marilyn Manson albums over the time. So yeah, people get, I don't know, we're tangenting again. Well, to me, they're not weird.
まあまあ二人と
Well,
も
now, the two of you.
ここは相部屋だから
This is a
あんまり
shared
騒いじゃダ
room,
メ
so
だ
you
って
shouldn't be rowdy.
ああそうだったわ
Yeah,
ね
yeah, my bad. Two people who came to visit me. Nothing need be said about Chihiro, but even looking like this, Yuka had been the first to rush over. Even before, when I had been in bed with a cold, complaining all the while, she'd be at my side, taking care of me. She wasn't the most true to herself, but really, she was very kind. That was my best friend.
美味しいわね
Delicious,
このメロン
isn't it? It's melon.
ちょっとあんた見舞いなんだか
Hey,
ら
you're the
そんな
one that's
ガツガツ
visiting.
食べない
Don't
でよ
gobble it all up.
別にいいじゃない
Yeah, why
いっ
not?
ぱい
There's
あるんだし
plenty.
うん
Oh.
でもさいきなり入院って聞いた時は驚いたわよ
But yeah, when I suddenly heard that you were admitted to the hospital, I was surprised.
私もびっ
Yeah,
くりした
I was surprised too.
なのに急いで駆けつけて
Yet,
みたら
when I rushed over to
ピ
see,
ンピンしてて
I
拍
was
子
so
抜けよね
lively. What a disappointment.
こらあんたが
Hey,
言わないでよ
don't say that. You'll jinx it.
だってみんなそん
Yeah,
な
but
顔
everyone
し
was
てる
making
ん
that
だ
kind of face.
そういえば千尋ちゃん他の人は
Speaking of which, Chihiro-chan, what about everyone else?
会社の人とかたくさん来てたんだけど
Yeah,
さっ
lots
き
of
帰っちゃ
people
った
from the company came. They left just before.
ちなみに手ぶらで見舞いに来たのはあなただけよ
By the way, the only person to come empty-handed was you.
うるさいわね
Hey, be
変な本買っ
quiet.
てき
I
てあ
bought
げた
those
でしょう
weird
が
books for you, didn't I?
あれはちゃんと代金渡したからお使いであってお見舞いの差し入れと
That
は
was
言
an
えないわ
errand that I
ね
most definitely gave you the money for. You can't really call that a visiting gift, right?
あ 相変わらず
Yeah,
へり
always
く
with the
つ
little details. Get out of here.
でもね、やっぱ嬉しいもんよ。
But you know, it really is a happy thing
毎日会っているよう
to
な相
have
手で
even
も
people that you
こう
see
やって
every
お見舞い
day
に来て
come
くれる
like
と
this
さ、
to visit.
メロンも持ってきてもらえる
And
し
they
ね。
bring melons for you too.
たまには病気も悪くないかな。
Maybe once in a while being sick isn't so bad. Yeah, just once in a while.
それから数ヶ月、気の早いセミが鳴く頃、
Oh boy. I think we've reached a turn. But we'll come back to that next time we are together for more Narcissu side second. So there we go. Definitely a different tone from that beginning, but we were telling more of an origin story now. I kind of feel like we're about to start trucking on into Narcissu being Narcissu now. So probably be ready for that next time we're together. So thanks so much for coming out. I hope that the new way that I'm kind of approaching this one is okay. I hope it's not too bothersome for people who kind of just wanted me to read everything. But again, in a story that has a lot of characters, I feel like maybe it's best to kind of have gone with the voiced version. And I don't think it's really slowing things down too much or making it all that clunky. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, it's very much appreciated. I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, and we will catch you next time. Bye.